Council meetings are long and boring. Wouldn't it be great if they were short and unboring? This is why I've invented the 5-minute meeting. Five. All right. Ashland City Council meeting of December 7th. The Planning Commission provided their annual report. The commission chairman said we approved a bunch of building projects and conducted hearings and looking at new codes and zones and flexibility for housing, and school buildings are being built, and this one goes, this commission is just the best. And then the social equity and racial justice review. This one always does that. She does that. She's a big fan of that. She said we've created Juneteenth. We were looking to display Black Lives Matter signage, and we're of course, high school mural happened, and removing Dead Indian Memorial Road is still a goal, that name anyway. Encouraging the Ashland police to engage with SOU and other stuff, and stuff. A lot of stuff. And this goes, hey, I want to recognize the Ashland High School Truth to Power Club for their mural, which includes Counselor Duquesne, this one right here, who is the first black counselor, and who is the first openly. I'm not certain how to say. And then this one says, hey, thanks, it's no big deal, but openly queer is the phrase I prefer, and that's good to know. And then some other recommendations were accepted, and then the city manager's report. Friday at 5:30, council will meet to approve the first official city manager. And this one said, hey, interim manager, you were super appreciated. And then the consent agenda. This one says, hey, what's up with the vehicle replacements? How's that going? And the city guy goes, resale vehicle prices are great right now, so that's going good. And this one says, I move that no consent agenda item cost more than $25,000. He goes, yeah, I agree with that. And then the city lady said, the level right now is $100K, by the way, just so you know where we are. And that did not pass, 4-2. So that was quick. And then this one goes, hey, this continuum of care organizing process is unclear to me. And the city lady said, this is coordinated with regional advocacy and meets the requirements of the LOC and the COC, and some more unclear nonsense. But then the city housing lady said, we need to sign on early to state legislation process here. And it's before it's a bill. So at this point, there's still a lot of changing going on. And then the city manager guy said, this is a very normal state legislative process. And this one goes, I get it now. Okay, thanks for the info. And this goes, I move to approve all these extra consent agenda items. And they were all approved. And then the property annexation code changes. And there was a public forum right at the top. And a red beard guy said, this project is fine, but the language allows developers not to do safety stuff. And how would you feel if you had to talk to the mother of a dead child? Yikes! Apparently the code change is going to kill children. So the city planning guy says, when the state denied our annexation of the 17 acres in the north end of town, we started cleaning up the zoning code language, and this is just new zoning code language. And then another lady said, hey, there is some super helpful specific info in this. It is helpful to builders. This is only for land being annexed by the city, by the way. And this one goes, I move that we approve these annexation code language changes. And this one says, I add the amendment that the 1/4 mile connectivity be extended to 1 mile. And how would that affect projects? Really? No one knew for certain, so that quickly failed 4-2. And then they went on to approve the other annexation code languages for annexation. That was all approved. And then Pioneer Hall and the community center update. Oh boy, here we go. This one starts off and says, I'm going to read the mayor's next door post from a couple of days ago, and he does. And then he disagrees with her opinions and complains about her opinion and said her opinion was wrong. And he said the word cacophony, I think. And he says that the city is doing a great work on that community center project. And this one goes, she goes, hey, look, complaining about my post on Nextdoor is wasting time. Let's talk about bringing this guy in front of the city council to propose turning the community center into a daycare center. And this one goes, hey, Nextdoor is no place to talk to people. And she goes, hey, I get you don't like it, but I'm still going to share info and opinions on social media. And then this one goes, pivots there and says, hey, what's the situation with the bids on the repair of the community center? And the city manager guy says, yeah, there are no bids, and they are due today. So, and then the city public works guy says, look, we're going to just repost the job after the holiday. A lot of these builders have more work than they can handle anyway right now. And this one goes, she goes, look, I brought this whole thing to council, and I'm a sucker for early education. So this guy came to me and was pitching daycare, and I love that so much. I just brought it to council. There was no tricky intent, and I can't believe this was being misconstrued. And then her mouth smiled, but her whole face was not smiling. And then this one says, I am dismayed. This private guy wanted to buy a public building and do great things. And everyone is making it seem bad. This is going to discourage other rich people from trying to buy public buildings. And this one says, I move that we don't allow this guy to present to the council his idea to the council. And this guy goes, oh, it's a sad day financially when a rich guy who wants to buy a public building for $750,000 and then the city wants to deny him. This mayor is orchestrating an unfair gathering of citizens who agree with her. And this one goes, she goes, it's true, I don't like the idea, this whole idea. So, but quick, making this all about my social media posts. 5-1, they agree not to allow this guy to make a presentation to the community center. I think this was the one who was, okay, I lost track there. And then Ashland schools are upset about building fee increases that are taking money from the school bond we all voted for last year. And their pitch is to max out fees on any one building at $100,000 because some projects cost way more than that in fees. And the school board lady said, hey, Ashland Planning Department fees are millions over any other city. The school bond that was just approved seemed to trigger the planning department to increase a lot of fees. They say they've already paid $2 million in fees, and she proposes that they pay no more fees. And if things stay the same as they are, they're going to owe almost $2 million more in fees. And the planning department gets 4% of every dollar from the bond money. And that is more in percentage than the architects or the builders or the project managers. And then the Ashland School superintendent said, the planning department fees for schools are crazy. Most cities charge 0 development fees to their schools. And all the other fees that the Ashland Planning Department charges schools are 30% to 3 times higher than any other city. Apparently, they have to lose 6 to 8 badly needed classrooms because the planning department fees are higher than we projected. That's what he said. And so, that's rough. And this one said, hey, I heard the Parks Department had something to do with some delays. What happened there? And he knew what happened there. The school board lady says, the Parks and Planning Department had a dispute about who should give out a permit. So that delayed Walker School by 7 months, costing us a $2 million grant and $2 million in labor and supplies. And then she said, this consultant guy knows more. Consultant guy says, well, I'm not going to lay blame on anybody, but that 7-month delay is what forced us to put all those trailers in the front yard of the Science Works. That wasn't even supposed to happen. And so he said the stress that put on the students, teachers, and the staff is more than even just the money that they lost. And this one goes, oh, well, hey, planning guy, the city taking unfair fees from the schools, that can't possibly be right. And then the city planning guy said, blah, blah, blah. You know, fees pays for firemen and policemen and stuff. And the process of deciding fees, oh boy, a lot of groups are involved in something like that. So it was a classic non-answer. And then this guy goes, hey, Parks can't possibly be to blame for anything. And he said that reflexively without any specific knowledge. So then this one goes, she goes, I move we postpone things until the city finance manager and the regular manager can look at the school board people's request. And he goes, and of course the parks need to be involved in all this, of course. So the first meeting in January, we'll have a school board bond planning fee discussion. And then the Portland State was asked to study the fire department consolidation with County District 5 fire departments, and then B, the police department consolidation with Talent's police department. And the fire department study would cost $38,000, and the police consolidation study would cost $28,000, but split 50-50 with the City of Talent. And everyone's like, that's a good study to do. Let's all do that. Both were all approved. And then that's the end of the meeting. You're welcome.